this video, we're going to take a look at some advanced jazz chord progressions. Hey, it's Paul Tobey from jazzmental.com. Thanks for joining me. The topic for this video came to us as a result of me posting a recording on the Jazz Pianist group in Facebook, and I basically asked people to listen to it and point out what they'd like to learn from it. It was a recording that I did of On the Sunny Side of the Street. And I did this just yesterday, and I posted it on Facebook, and a few people got back to me. One of the most interesting comments was from Peter Riddle, who says he would love to learn about my chord progressions. He calls them subtle and harmonically sound. Now, harmonically sound just means that they're very pleasing to the ear. So what I decided to do was take that advice, and I'm gonna move to the keyboard and my computer so that you can exactly see the chord progressions that I'm doing. It's going to be very close to what you're going to hear in the recording. Now, of course, in the recording, I'm going to take some more liberties. I might make some runs. I may obviously do some soloing and things like that, but the chord progressions is going to remain relatively the same. So if you're really looking for a video to help you with chord progressions, this is a good one because I'm going to go through them completely, play them with chordy so you can actually see the chords, and then I'm going to play the recording so you can get some ideas from that as well. And after the recording, I'll come back and give you some further instructions. Let's get started. When it comes to good quality chord progressions in songs like On the Sunny Side of the Street, my philosophy has always been, where are you headed? What is or are the destination chords? Now, in a song that is slow to medium tempo like this one, you could put a chord on every note, which means that every single bar there could be a destination chord. And that's pretty much like it is right from the beginning here. So you're gonna hear the recording a little bit later, but some of the things that I'm gonna do is focus on the chords and where they're headed. So for example, to me, the E7 is a destination chord. Why? Because the melody kind of states that. I mean, that as a singer would be a note that would really stand out. It's the highest note in the entire first section, and basically it's just a destination. So let's take a look at how we're going to get there. Now, the interim destination is, of course, the first note here, which is the C6 chord. So G7 heading down to C6. So we've got an E natural in the melody, and my first thought is play like a diminished chord. This one over G. So you don't really need to do that. You can surround that diminished chord with the actual melody, which is the E natural. So you've got this minor second down here. Then we get to the C6, nothing so big there. But then what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the Barry Harris 6 diminished scale and do contrary motion. So the right hand is going up in diminished chords, like every other note is a diminished chord like this. So we're gonna do that right away. So the left hand is going down and the right hand is going up. That's another C6 chord. Or you could play the B natural to make it a A minor 9 chord. So and when we get to the G, it doesn't really work for 6 diminished. So my thought is go a half step above to the E7 chord. So if you have a destination chord, then you can approach that chord from a half step above or a half step below. In this case, we're gonna go from a half step above because we're still separating the melody from the left hand. The left hand's going down, the melody's going up. So this. So there's a nice chord. It's basically like a E7 sharp 9 chord, right? Over F. It's nice, it makes an F minor 6/9, different way of thinking about it. So one more time. Now the E7, we can do E7 flat 9. much you can do with the F major 7 chord. I think it needs to be intact there. You could probably do some type of 2-5, but you don't really need to. There's a lot going on so far. So the F major 7 chord, just separate it by a lot of space. Like this is forced here in the middle. Nice open sound. So from the beginning. So here's a situation again where I'm doing sort of that copying the melody with the left hand. And then F major 7. Then a couple of other inversions of F major 7. And then pretty simple B minor 7 flat 5, or B half diminished 7th to E7 flat 9. So here's another situation right here where we can use that 6th diminished scale contrary motion. Okay, so what did we do there? We did contrary motion first. And then we can approach the D7 from a half step above, so E flat. Think of a chord that goes there. It's like an E7, 6, 9, sharp 11 chord. Or could even be flat 7. So could be that. Okay, one more time. And a D7 sharp 11 chord. So you got an E over D right here. E major triad over D7. It's a little hard to reach that one with the left hand, but you can do it. And then, what did we do here in the recording? I can't remember what we did. One second. Oh, right. So this is a neat little trick sometimes when you have eighth notes. You can play fourths and then a third on top. So it's just going up by a half step. Take every note and move it up a half step. It's a nice sound. D minor 7th, and then F over G to G7 flat 9. That's a nice sound, right? So I want to deal with that turnaround in just a moment, but let's go from the beginning. One thing I forgot to mention is that you can use any chord you want on that F before the E7. So here's another choice, which is like a E flat over F chord or F sus chord. So the first time we did this chord, second time we're doing this chord. So you can switch the chords. You don't have to play the same chord on each chorus or on each A section. There we go. Now let's deal with the turnaround. So E minor 7. And then instead of the A, go down in half steps. So the tritone substitution. So E to E flat. So F over E flat. This is an F triad over this fifth. Got it? Okay, then the A section just repeats. And again, you can change some of the chords as you go through. They don't have to be repeated. So just like we did with the F before the E, so this or this. to get to the E7. So again, just use your imagination. And then when we get to the bridge, we have these 3 notes here at the end. I'm pointing to this right here. And I know that very specifically, the last thing you want to do to get to the bridge is be simple. So for example, we just finished. You don't want to do this. That's a real opportunity, those 3 notes. And the destination chord is the G minor 7th, so I'm thinking, okay, let's just go up half steps from the G minor 7th, and where do we end up? So 3 notes, so go up 3 notes from G. 1, 2, 3. Let's start on the B flat and make a chord with the C in the melody. So like this. So this is like a B flat sharp 11 chord. And then A minor 7. And then A flat 13 with a flat 9. Really nice. So there. Let's do that again. That might be a little radical. That's a little bit better. So instead of going to C7, we're using the tritone substitution, which is F sharp. So one more time. I know it says we're going to F6 here, but instead I'm just substituting a D minor 11 chord. So a simple chord like D7 with a third in the melody, and I am referring to this chord right here with the F sharp. So it has the third in the melody. The tendency to want to do something like this is pretty strong, but that's such a weak chord. So now that might be good in like stride piano playing or whatever, but this is jazz. So let's beef it up a bit. There we go. So let's do those notes from top down. F sharp, D, C, B flat, F, and then a fifth in the bass. Such a different chord. Listen to that. Really nice. And then, so really, I'm just heading to, right. So let me think about that for a second. So like a 2-5 of A minor. And then we're going to so this is the destination chord here. We have to get there somehow. And I'm doing a 2-5 of A minor. So, and then a 2-5 of A minor. So E7, and then maybe A flat. So A flat, where the G9 is. So I'm substituting this for A flat right here. Then we're back to the head. You'll probably hear me do that in the recording, but basically it's just D flat to C. Makes a nice sound with that fifth in the bass. Okay, let me play the recording for you. You can hear some other ideas in there as well. I'm gonna solo for a chorus or a little bit. And then if you have any questions about these chord progressions, you wanna go a little bit deeper, just let me know. Let's play the recording now. Okay, so there's the recording that I did of On the Sunny Side of the Street. Thanks for listening to that. What I'd like you to do now is just, if you like the video and the content of this video, please give it a thumbs up. That would be very much appreciated. And if you've got a little bit of time, go over to jazzmental.com and check out some of the other sheet music and backing tracks and tutorials and things that we have over there. There's a lot going on and more to come. We're going to be starting some master classes really soon. So at least get on the mailing list and you'll be hearing about that coming up shortly. If you want to subscribe to this Jazz Mental YouTube channel, I'd really appreciate that. We're growing a little bit. All you have to do is hit the little bell when you subscribe and we'll notify you of all of the upcoming videos that we're making. Thanks so much for your time. I really appreciate it, and I will see you in the next video.